So, where's your arc reactor?
Okay, so first things first. I watched the show yesterday itself. I think it's pretty okay, run of the mill. There's some problems though. I'm not familiar with the comics first and foremost. I do think so. I'm like not reviewing, but looking at the show in terms of what it is as it's being presented to me, right? And in the context of the MCU as a whole. I think the show is okay. It's not bad, not detestably bad like Secret Invasion off the top of my dome. And it's not good either. I think it's pretty much run of the mill, unimportant, same as all MCU shows that have been coming out on Disney Plus. Now, there's a few things that I like. I want to get into that. First, I like the slow build up of the villains. You necessarily understand this guy, what's his character name actually? Obadiah Stane is his father. Ezekiel Stane. Ezekiel is the villain who becomes a villain because the hero did something wrong to them, right? He you can necessarily see that like he has some issues because of his father, and that's the whole thing of like, are we destined to like repeat the sins of our fathers? I think I've mentioned this before, but again, essentially some wrong is done to him by the hero, and then it feels as if the next couple of episodes, the next three episodes that we're gonna get later on, he's gonna go full on villain, or at least have a sort of resentment towards Riri Williams for essentially losing his tech and maybe having the FBI up on him. That's one of the good things that I like, the slow paced build up for this character. Second would be
We Ocean's 11 of The Sopranos.
Was it
mm, second would be the Hood character. I think he's not mysterious, but there is a certain like, okay, I want to know what's up with the hood. I want to see this magical aspect into play. And that's very good at keeping your attention or retaining your attention to be like, okay, I'll watch the next couple of three episodes. That's about it. Done. I like Anthony Ramos, the actor who plays this guy. He's been in a lot of good stuff. And I think in terms of a villain or in terms of a role he's playing, Marvel could have found him a better role to play. That's whatever. That's about most of the good things that I could say about the show. Move on to the negatives. There's a whole lot of negatives about the show. One being that it's a show that has been cut up into like little pieces. Two and episode three, it feels as though there's a whole episode that was explaining how characters go from feeling one thing towards feeling another thing that just got cut out, you know. There's a certain change that comes out where Riri starts questioning a lot of things that um the whole crew is doing, and that kind of paints it as if it's coming out of nowhere. Because initially she was okay with it. Oh, you guys are committing crimes. We're all doing this because it's in it for ourselves. It seems as if there was an episode where something, you know, they start mentioning, oh, do you guys know what the Hood's powers are? Where does he get his magical abilities? Some say it's magic, some say it's tech. How is he doing it? Those kind of questions that should have come up on episode one when we first saw the powers being used. But it comes up on like episode three, where essentially they've only showcased him using his power once or twice, and that's about it. And then it comes out of nowhere when Rui starts asking the other people within the group where does he get his abilities from. There is a storyline that I find interesting within the show. I think that the show is building up Riri to a point of showcasing that she is wrong in her worldview or in the way that she's thinking because of the actions that she like her choices have led her to do some terrible actions. The next three episodes that come out really should own up to her mistakes, realize that what she did was wrong, and apologize for that. And then I believe, you know, she should not be condemned. If that happens, she should not be condemned for her actions. I just think that the way the show is doing it is a bit iffy, and some people might get lost in that. Because I really do love like the last episode where she essentially breaks down and then like She realizes that she's messed up. Last few points, I have to point out that Riri is essentially so far not a good person. She is in fact a villain of the story that she is currently in. She's allowed multiple people to die. She's essentially stealing from people who've worked hard to be in the position that she is. And the thing is, the show tries to give defense to that and be like, no, they're just stealing from the rich and giving back to the poor. That's not the case. They're stealing from the rich and giving to themselves. It's not altruistic in any sense. There's no point at which, if I was to compare it to anything, it would be like the Luigi Mangione case. He went out of his way to kill a CEO of a particular healthcare company. The show wants to do something of like that. The thing is, with Luigi's case, it's more complex and more like if you read into it or study more, research more about what actually like are his motivations and stuff, you'll find out it's more layered than just that. Oh, we're stealing from the poor, and by taking action where other people are not taking action, that means that I'm a hero in that sense. That's not the case. That's what I think. I think that's what the show was going for, but they miss out on that. I am definitely gonna watch the next three episodes that come out. I don't particularly think it's going to be that good, but again, I don't think it's that bad either. It's not as terrible. There's other worse shows. But if they fuck up the next three episodes, then yeah, it's done. It's late.